bitter criticism reading the genocide dossier, the usual genocide dossier on Al Jazeera's app. Pretty fly for Arab guys. It's beautiful actually. You should try the app. There's a beautiful image there. So genocide dossier, the live updates. The director of the main hospital in Israel's siege zone in North Gaza believes Israeli forces killed his son because of his work. Well, this is what happened after killing 500,000 people. Some Israelis will die too. Live updates. Hezbollah launches complex attack on North Israel as it bombs Lebanon. Catastrophic scenes as Israel's relentless attacks on civilian population continue in northern Gaza. By Niels Adler. October 30. Today's October 30. Beit Lahia in northern Gaza is declared a disaster zone after weeks of relentless Israeli bombardment and military siege. A senior UNRWA official described scenes UNRWA described scenes in northern Gaza as catastrophic. Yeah, so the northern Gaza is being 2 years under bombing. Absolutely. The north of Gaza. It will be the most devastated place in the world. Israeli forces on Thursday killed more than 110 Palestinians in Beit Lahia in an attack the United States called horrifying. Israel continued its deadly strikes on southern Lebanon, with women and children among 15 people killed in the latest attacks in Sarafan and Haret Saida near Sidon City. Israeli media report at least 33 Israeli soldiers have been killed in fighting in southern Lebanon since the start of the month. In Gaza, at least 43,163 people have been killed and 101,510 wounded in Israeli attacks since October 7, 2023. An estimated 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led attacks and more than 200 been taken captive. In Lebanon, at least 2,787 people have been killed and 12,772 wounded in Israeli attacks since the war on Gaza began. And well, so it's not, there's no equilibrium there. It's very unfair. Maybe, who knows, that was a wrong move by Hamas. I guess it was. I guess it was a terrible move. I guess they made a terrible move. They should keep quiet, and now, well, go away, just leave Israel there, forget about it. Wednesday, October 30, this a minute ago. We have photos. Fires rage in a village near Tyre after Israeli strike. Force responders work amid the fire following an Israeli airstrike on the southern Lebanese village of Abbasiyeh near Tyre on Wednesday. Israeli strikes kill 19 people, including 8 women, in 2 towns in Lebanon's Baalbek region. Some 1.2 million people have been displaced by the conflict in Lebanon. Wednesday, October 30, 11 minutes ago. Lebanon's prime minister says U.S. envoy told him a ceasefire possible before November 5 by Charles Stratford. Najib Mikati, Lebanon's caretaker prime minister, said he was cautiously optimistic about this potential ceasefire proposal, which we understand is on its way to Israel in the hands of the U.S. envoy Amos Hochstein. I will give you some of the details. According to this proposal, there will be no arms or military infrastructure south of the Litani River except for the Lebanese army and international forces under a ceasefire agreement in line with UN Security Council 1701. That's the agreement that was made after the end of the last war in 2006 between Hezbollah and Israel. Mikati went on to say any ceasefire will have to come with an American guarantee. He said Amos Hochstein told him it was possible to reach a ceasefire before November 5th. It shows you just how much effort the Americans are making before this election. It's really important to mention that according to Lebanon's Speaker of Parliament, Nabi Berri, who has effectively been acting on behalf of Hezbollah in this negotiation, has repeatedly said there will be no change to 1701. 24 minutes ago, death toll rises in Lebanon's Baalbek region. Israeli strikes have killed 19 people, including 8 women in two towns in the Baalbek region, the Lebanese Health Ministry announced. 34 minutes ago, ceasefire draft says Israel can continue to strike Hezbollah targets, reports. The Israeli newspaper Haaretz reports Israel's public broadcaster published the Israel-Lebanon ceasefire draft document, which the U.S. presented to Israel. It says it includes, quote, a mandate which will allow Israel to conduct airstrikes along the border between the two countries in Lebanese territory in order to ward threats brought on by Hezbollah or other groups. Maybe some politics are happening right here. Yeah, look, some protests, some demonstration. Such a beautiful dog. It says it includes, quote, a mandate which will allow Israel to conduct airstrikes along the border between the two countries in Lebanese territory in order to ward threats brought on by Hezbollah or other groups. Maybe we will face slow traffic now. Smoke rises from a building hit in an Israeli airstrike in Tyre, southern Lebanon. October 30, an hour ago. UN Commission decreased Gaza child deaths in Israeli strikes. The Independent International Commission of Inquiry on the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem and Israel, has condemned the killing of children by Israeli strikes in the besieged coastal enclave. Members Milon Kotari and Chris Sidoti were speaking at the UN briefing. Sidoti said at least 13,319 Palestinian children have died in Israeli attacks since October 2023. Kids aren't terrorists, he said, warning the war risks turning occupied Palestinian territory into a terrorism creation factory over the coming decades. Kotari urged global leaders to change their approach to both states, insisting on a distinction between occupier and occupied. quote, you have to distinguish between them, so you know one is an occupier and the other the occupied, she said, calling on states under international law to withhold military and political support for Israel. And that's it. I will read. No, I'm not going to read the last one because it's too long. So I'm just going to read the headline. U.S. failing to prove Israel's use of American bombs in Gaza, lawyer.